Hello, my beautiful people. I'm your host, Andrea, and welcome back to another episode of Limitless AF, the podcast where we break limits, step into our power, and create lives that are unapologetically ours. Today's episode is not a sip your tea and feel inspired kind of conversation. This is not one of those sweet little encouragement moments where you leave here feeling warm and fuzzy. Nope. Today, I'm coming in the way a true friend comes in when she loves you enough to tell you the truth. The way a grown woman talks when she sees potential being wasted. The way I talk when I'm looking at you like, girl, really? We're still doing this? Because last week, I told you to sit the hell down and have a real conversation with yourself. And today we're going to talk about whether you actually did that or did you bullshit yourself again and call it life just being busy. So go ahead, grab your tea, your water, your wine, or whatever you need, because today is the episode where we stop pretending you don't know exactly what's going on inside of you. It's the episode where I hold that mirror up to your face and ask, do you really want more? Or do you just like the sound of wanting more? So, let's get into it. Before I dive into what I want to discuss today, let me first apologize if my voice is a bit off. It's been a little chilly here in California, and this morning I woke up and felt a little tickle in my throat. I said, oh, hell no, and immediately got me some green tea. Then I took one of my infamous homemade lemon booster shots, or drinks, or whatever you want to call it. If you know me, then you know exactly what's in it. If you're curious, send me a message and I might hook you up with the recipe. All right, enough about that. Now, let's start right where we left off last week, because it wasn't for entertainment, that's for damn sure. It wasn't for motivation. It wasn't a feel-good moment. Last week was an assignment, a pull up, a wake up, a come sit your grown ass down and get honest episode. And I said it from the jump, that episode wasn't meant to be comfortable. It was meant to be real. It was meant to get into the cracks of your spirit and make you ask questions you've been avoiding for years. So now I have a simple question. Did you do it? And don't answer me yet. Answer yourself. Because some of you heard that episode, got emotional, nodded your head like, yes, girl. Texted your friend about how I read you for filth, and then went right back to avoiding yourself like you always do. And some of you did have the conversation. And honey, I felt that shift in your energy because I received so many DMs, texts, and emails that I couldn't even keep up. Something in you got a little louder, a little clearer, and a little more fed up with your own excuses. That's what happens when you stop lying to yourself. But for real, most women don't avoid the truth because they're scared of the truth. They avoid the truth because they're scared of what the truth will require of them. Now let me ask you this again, for real this time. Did you sit with yourself or did you just bullshit yourself? And I want you to be brutally honest because it matters. It matters for who you're becoming. It matters for the life you say you want. It matters for your peace. It matters for your identity. Some of you avoided that conversation because you already know your old life is tapping out. You already know the version of you that tolerated things is done. You already know the old habits don't fit. The old excuses don't land. The old self isn't sustainable. And instead of facing that shift, you got scared and hid from yourself. But guess what? Your evolution doesn't pause just because you do. You can avoid the conversation, but you cannot avoid the next version of you. She's coming either way. Now let me talk to the women who actually did the work. The ones who sat down, the ones who got quiet, the ones who told themselves the truth without folding. You may not even realize it yet, but something in your energy shifted. Something in your awareness cracked open. Something in your spirit got louder. And here's the part nobody tells you. When you finally sit with yourself, the truth doesn't show up as fireworks. It shows up as clarity. It shows up as irritation towards the things you used to tolerate. It shows up as sudden lack of patience for your own bullshit. It shows up as the voice inside you saying, okay, so now what? What are we going to do with this? If you did that conversation last week, you might feel restless. You might feel emotional. You might feel ready, scared, annoyed, empowered, all at the same damn time. But that's normal. That's growth. That's the beginning of taking your own damn self seriously. Here's what I need you to hear loud and clear. Clarity without action is just procrastination dressed up in wisdom. If you know better and you still don't do better, that's not confusion, that's avoidance. This is where the real work begins. This is where your identity starts shifting. This is where the woman you're becoming starts stepping forward. This is where you decide whether last week was just a cute moment or an actual turning point. And this right here is where women over 40 either rise or retreat, but not on my watch. Not if you're in this community, and not if you're listening to me every week. You didn't survive all that life has thrown at you just to bullshit yourself out of your next chapter. All right, now let's talk to the women who avoided the assignment. And listen, I'm not judging you. I'm not mad. I'm not disappointed. I'm just not going to sit here and pretend we don't know exactly why you didn't do it. You didn't avoid that conversation because you forgot or you were tired or even because life got busy. You avoided it because you were scared of what the truth might expose. Because the minute you get real with yourself, you can't hide behind the same excuses anymore. You can't pretend you don't know what needs to change. You can't act like everything is fine. You can't blame other people, and you can't stay comfortable in the life you've outgrown. And some of you would rather stay overwhelmed than get honest, or confused than get clear, or stay busy than stay present. Some of you are even more comfortable with suffering than with changing, because at least suffering is familiar. Crazy how that works, right? But listen to me when I say this. You cannot complain about a life you refuse to participate in changing. Do you understand that? You cannot ask for a new chapter while clinging to the last one. You cannot keep bullshitting yourself and expect your life to magically shift. It doesn't work like that. You are the shift. You are the turning point. You are the common denominator in your own evolution. And before you roll your eyes, I say that with love. The kind of love that doesn't baby you. The kind of love that holds you accountable. The kind of love that says, get your ass up. We're not doing this version of avoidance anymore. Here's something most people won't say out loud, but you know I don't care, so I'll say it. Women over 40 don't need gentle. We need real. We don't need, you're doing great, sweetie. We don't need golden affirmations taped to a mirror all the time. We don't need someone telling us to manifest clarity from the bathtub. We need someone who sees us. We need someone who understands the layers. We need someone who knows what it feels like to carry families, marriages, careers, grief, responsibilities, expectations, and still be expected to smile, show up, and make everything look effortless. We need someone who gets that we've spent years performing strength and ignoring ourselves. We don't need softness. We need truth, clarity, a push, a pull, a challenge, a mirror. We need the grown woman version of accountability, the kind nobody gives us because they assume that we're just fine. That's why you're here. That's why you listen. Because you know I'm not scared to say the thing that every woman over 40 feels but doesn't say out loud. You're tired of pretending, and it's time to choose yourself for real. Now let me be very clear. I'm not about to bring up my guide Unveiling Your True Self because it's cute or because I want you to buy something. You know that's not how I roll. I'm bringing it up because this is literally the moment that guide was created for. If you did sit with yourself last week, then you cracked something open. And if you don't take the next steps, you're going to slip right back into old patterns. That guide keeps the momentum alive. It gives you structure, clarity, questions, and reflection that deepen what your spirit started. And if you did not sit with yourself last week, then, oh honey, you need that guide like you need water because you clearly don't have a starting point. You don't need inspo. You don't need motivation. You need a framework that pulls you back into yourself and helps you see who the hell you are beneath all the roles you've been performing. Unveiling your true self is not fluff. It's not generic. It's not surface level. It's the deeper identity work women our age have been starving for because it walks you into the version of you that's been waiting behind all that noise. I'm going to say something and I need you to take a breath before you react. You say you want more? But wanting more means nothing if you're still bullshitting yourself. You want more peace? Then stop choosing chaos. You want more confidence? Then stop silencing yourself. You want more alignment? Then stop entertaining the shit you've outgrown. You want more joy? Then stop numbing yourself with distractions. You want more purpose? Then stop lying to yourself about who you are and what you want. And no, this isn't an attack. It's a reminder, a grown woman reminder, a spiritual reminder. a personal accountability reminder. You cannot elevate a version of yourself you refuse to face. This chapter of your life is not about manifesting anything. It's about matching it, matching the energy, the truth, the identity, the life you say you want. You want more? Then move like a woman who's done apologizing for it. Now let me talk to the women who are listening like, okay, damn, I hear you, Andrea. I'm in it and I'm ready. If you're overwhelmed with what came up this week, if you don't know what to do with the truth you uncovered, if you did the reflection and now you're like, what the hell do I do next? If you didn't do it and now you're sitting here feeling called out, then good. That means you're ready. This is exactly when you want to book your wake-up call. Not because you need to be helped, but because you need to be called up. You need a space where you can tell the truth and not flinch. You need someone who can see the woman you're becoming before you even believe it. You need someone who isn't afraid to tell you, oh no, honey, that's not it. Please try again. Because I definitely will not sugarcoat anything or coddle you. That's what the wake-up call is. 45 to 60 minutes of clarity, truth, alignment, and real conversation that moves you forward and not in circles. All right, my loves, take a breath. Today wasn't easy, but it was definitely necessary. If you're feeling called out, good. If you're feeling seen, even better. If you're feeling ready, then let's get to work. I know you want more for your life, but wanting more means nothing if you keep bullshitting yourself out of the life you're meant to live. So start with yourself, sit with the truth, grab your copy of Unveiling Your True Self, and deepen what's already shifting inside you. You can find the link in the show notes. And when you're ready for the real conversation, the one that moves you into action, go ahead and schedule your wake-up call. I'll catch you next time on Limitless AF. Until then, keep loving freely, keep growing together, and keep showing up for the people who show up for you. And remember, you are limitless, you are fierce, and honey, there's nothing you can't do.